clearly it's being seen as an attempt in the first instance to scuttle the peace negotiations and as well as sort of obviously try to take out the Hamas leadership. If you think about the way the world and the region responded when Israel attacked the Hezbollah leadership last year in Tehran, which is a sort of similar sort of attack in a third country, there was a bit of relief around the region for that reason, because a lot of countries were pleased to see Hezbollah diminished. But this is very different. This is not just an attack on a country which is very closely aligned with the US, but Qatar has been playing this key role in trying to get some semblance of peace negotiations underway. And the people involved in who were being targeted in the strike were actually the chief negotiators on the Hamas part for these negotiations. So without a doubt, it's designed to undermine the peace process, which a lot of analysts in the region and around the world think is what the aims of Benjamin Netanyahu, that he does not have an interest in getting a peace negotiation.
Both the US and Israel have been keen to emphasise that Israel did this independently. Did the US give the green light?
Well, the indications seem to be that the US didn't know about this, which I think is deeply concerning for the rest of the world, in the sense that it clearly shows Israel doesn't feel it needs to get approval from the US, but it is also tending to feed the idea that President Trump is pretty unable to, he's lost his authority and is impotent to really affect any of these outcomes, Gemma. I mean, he's been talking about how he's reassuring the Qataris that this won't happen again on their soil. Why would you believe that if you were Qatar, given that he clearly didn't know about this beforehand and has issued this somewhat muted response saying it's not very good, but of course Hamas is bad? It sounds like the Trump administration has been left without a very clear and coherent response to this, and that sort of is a telling sign of what their general view is, which is that they're acting, on a day-to-day basis, and they don't have a clear strategy for the Middle East.
And tell us about the response, including Australia's response to this.
Well, whatever's happening in the US, the region is now looking like it may galvanise into having a much more coherent position against Israel, which is not at all good, of course. Now, all the interests of different states in the Middle East are never lined up entirely, but this has really brought everybody from Iran to the Gulf states together, to Turkey, and particularly Turkey will be interesting to watch, given that it also hosts some leaders of Hamas and it has been stepping up its security around them in recent days. But without a doubt, the approach around the world, whether it's from Europe, South America, everywhere, they've been condemning what's seen as a clear breach of international law and protocols.
And where does this leave peace negotiations for Gaza?
Well, I think for the moment it leaves them completely shattered. Certainly the US proposal that has been under the subject of negotiations in Doha now sort of on pause, and it's not clear where they'll come from next.
And Israel's Prime Minister, pardon me, spoke directly to the people of Gaza, Laura, asking them to release the hostages and overthrow Hamas. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, this is the other part of this story, Gemma, that while this attack on Qatar's been going on, the IDF has been escalating its attacks in Gaza and also in the West Bank, and, clearly they have continued their push into Gaza City, and it looks like they're making relentless efforts to destroy the whole of the Gaza Strip, and the comments about overthrowing Hamas, don't really go to the point that the view in the region now is that this was always Israel's intention, essentially to level Gaza and to force Palestinians out.